April is here and Anfield hosts the first game of what could be a memorable month for Liverpool. First up today, they're looking for a 10th straight home league win. If they can get it, they'll be top of the Premier League, albeit maybe just for a couple of hours. It is a lunchtime kick-off and Jurgen Klopp has told the fans to bring the noise. Liverpool against Watford gets underway at 12:30. Very good morning to you. Welcome along to the Matchday Live preview in association with Standard Chartered. Hopefully you can hear us over the ABBA, which is playing. I'm not sure which of Jermaine Pennant or Phil Thompson is the dancing queen amongst us.
Well, I just asked for this one, you know.
One of your requests, was it?
Memories, yeah.
Usually on a match day, of course, Jason McAteer is with us, but he's not been allowed back to Anfield after his performance in the Legends game last week.
Rob, you know, I think we witnessed the end of Jason's career. That cameo performance of his last week.
Not impressed, no?
No, I wasn't impressed. But that's besides it. He played, which is the most important thing. I was so jealous of him.
Yeah, it'd be great to be out there, wouldn't it? Jermaine, what a day, what a month it is for Liverpool. They've been chasing Manchester City for so long. I know it could only be for a couple of hours, but the chance to go top of the Premier League, having been so far back, is a huge one.
Yes, massive. You know, last time Liverpool was top of the league was in September 2021. So it's a long time, and you know it will put a lot of pressure on Man City because they've not had anyone. You know, they've had people chasing. They are now. If we win this game today, you know, Liverpool will be the hunted. So you know, it will put pressure that they've not exuberated, that they've not felt yet. So it's a massive day, massive game.
You must have had it so many times as a player that you get to this stage of the season, every game matters. You must be jumping out of bed on a Saturday just desperate to get into it.
No, it is, and you know it comes to a certain point, and I think it was just before the international break, a couple of weeks, it's about results. We've got to that point now of the season. It's not how you play, it's just getting those points on the board, and it's lovely that we are playing again before Manchester City, because I think we've seen it prior to the international break, when we were playing before them, and we were now, instead of playing that catch-up, all of a sudden City drop points. So it's nice, if we can win today, put that pressure on City, who are playing at 3.
Did you have times in particular seasons where you can remember feeling teams behind you?
No.
Too far ahead.
And it was like that because we were so used to sort of being in those positions. There was only once when we were, I think it was 12th place, I think it was over the Christmas period, and that was, so we were the chasers, and we ended up winning the league by about 5 points. I think we only lost, one game or something like that, which was quite incredible. But it was, most of the time we were always up ahead and we were there. But it came to a point where we thought, we just got to make sure now we just keep picking up the points.
And that's what Liverpool have been doing since January, Jermaine, picking up the points, 9 straight Premier League wins. With this Manchester City team, you have to be pretty much perfect, don't you, to stick with them?
Yeah, without that run there, Liverpool, you know, the title would have been dead and buried. And it's just a great run, great performances and results that have now got us to a gap of 1 point, which is fantastic. And, you know, if we continue the way we're going, getting results like that, it's only going to make it a lot difficult for Man City. And, you know, the nerves can start creeping in. Every game comes important, and, like, City have had the luxury of you know, taking games easy, having, you know, 4, 5, 6 points and an advantage. If they get a draw here, they're still going to be top. Anything less than a win, it's not going to be good enough.
And we're seeing the last of those 9 straight wins, Jermaine, at the Emirates, and that felt a big one, didn't it? Because it looked like pretty much the toughest game, apart from next week's one at the Etihad on paper.
Yes, not only was Arsenal on a great run themselves, and going away at the, you know, the Emirates, it's a difficult place. And, you know, watching the game, we wasn't at our best, and we was under the cosh at times. And watching that, I was nervous. I was on the edge of my seat, and, you know, waiting for the first goal to go on. But, you know, Arsenal could have went in half time 2-0. But, you know, luck was a little bit on our side. Alisson pulled out some great saves to keep us 0-0. And, you know, the magic fell to Jota, and he got that magical goal.
It was a big moment, what we've just seen there, when Ali saves it. Because that was, I know what you're saying, it wasn't us at our best, but that first 10 or 15 minutes Arsenal played really well. Because they had that much confidence, they'd won 5 on the belt, we'd won 8 on the belt. So it was massive, and you could feel that, the way they played. But I felt once that half an hour before half-time, I thought we just had the game well in control, and Arsenal didn't have that many chances. That's why that was the biggest one.
I think Jurgen Klopp might be ringing you there, Jermaine. Is he just to check whether you fancy a game today? It's not you, is it?
It's not my phone.
There we go. There's a little phone drifting around somewhere in the background. Talking of Jurgen Klopp and the team selections that he might make today, what do we think about Trent Alexander-Arnold? Fit enough to play or not?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because he is so important to the way we play. If he's got any worries, big Champions League game in midweek, and then we've got the City game, so you wouldn't want to take a risk. If he does still have a niggle, and sometimes it is a niggle. When we played, it was a 10-dayer or a 3-weeker, or then if it was really bad, it was like 6 weeks. So if it's a 10-dayer, he could be fit, but then there's that risk. Because hamstrings, we've all been there, and you go, and you're gone, and then you are out for 6 weeks, and you do not want to miss Trent for 6 weeks. So if he is, he could be on the bench, which will give him sort of a cameo last 20 minutes, and that's then who plays in his place. And
what you would say in terms of who does play in his place, Jermaine, that game against Forest in the Cup, which was Liverpool's last fixture, Joe Gomez did really well.
Yeah, he did. He impressed me a little bit by getting forward as much as he did. I said in pre-game that he'd be more defensive because the attacking wireman that Forest had, but he got forward. His end product wasn't as good as Trent's.
I think even he knows that, though, doesn't he?
It was a bit in question, but he tried to. He got in the positions that Trent got in. So yeah, it's great. And going back on what you said, I think every player in this team will have a little bit of niggle now. There's some little aches and pains this period of the season. We've all been there. I can remember when I was playing, I used to pop Voltaros, and they're like Smarties. And you'd feel absolutely fantastic for the 90 minutes, and the next day in the warm down, you'd be so much pain, it's unbelievable.
The wider point about the team is there is these huge games coming up, and everyone will be looking at Benfica and City, but you sense that Jurgen Klopp will probably just pick his best team and get this one out the way.
That's the way I feel it should be. Some managers are different and they do look ahead. I remember saying to Gerard Houllier, because we were in a similar position with all these games in 2001, and I'd say, knowing the experience, what I'd had is, let's pick our best team and then we'll know what's after that. Because if you start thinking too far ahead and you get beaten in that game or you drop points, then you're going, oh my goodness, what are we going to do about the next game? I said, so let's get this 1-1. And I think there's a lot of truth in that. And yes, he could play that today. Anybody who has got niggles because he played 2 international games, he might think about resting them because there is a heavy workload ahead.
Well, let's hear it from both managers, shall we? We'll hear from Roy Hodgson in just a moment. But first, Jurgen Klopp, who expects a lot from his players, but also expects a lot today from the home crowd.
What we need for this game is a sensational, the best 12:30 atmosphere ever. Not nervous, not whatever, not like this tense and I cannot breathe. If you cannot shout and sing, whatever, stay at home and give your ticket to somebody else, please. Really, we need you with all we have. The boys came back from all over the world. Played completely different systems again. We have this one session today where we can make sure that they remind them on what we actually do, because with national teams they do it obviously completely different. And then we go against a very well organized Watford team, and we need each voice for that.
We had a week with everybody, which was useful in terms of helping prepare, of course. But now, like everybody else, we've had a couple of days, or not even that. But then that's the same for everybody else. So, we're not in any particular position. Liverpool will be in exactly the same position as we are. So I've enjoyed the 3 weeks. I think we've worked well. I think the players have worked extremely well during those 3 weeks. Those that have been here. And all we can hope is that now we'll have given ourselves, with the work we've done and maybe even the extra fitness work we've done, a little bit more of a basis to push on for these last 9 games and try and secure our status.
So, Tomo, Watford 3 points from safety. Yeah. I've played 2 more games, though, than those across the park. Do you see them surviving?
No, if I'm being quite honest. I don't think they have enough. I don't think they've got the sort of the attack, the midfield, all working together. And I think that's one of the problems. In fairness, they've got a better away record. They've picked up 8 points more away from home than they have at home. So, and it's... I think what Roy's tried to do is to get them organised. That's one of the great things that he's got as a coach. And I think that's what they needed to do, because they've got 3 strikers. And that's why I think if Joe Gomez does play, I think it'd be because of Dennis playing out there, Emmanuel Dennis. And then you've got Sarr, they've got great pace. So that'll be it. But they don't understand how to defend, and I think they're free spirits, and I think when you're down there, everybody's got to defend as a unit. So I do think he's done a decent job, but I can't see them getting out of it. I just don't think they've got enough all round.
Let's pick up on the forward players that Tomo just mentioned. From a fellow winger's perspective, they do carry a threat, don't they, Dennis and Sarr, who's back having played both times for Senegal against Egypt. They are decent, and Sarr particularly, we think back to that game, what was it, couple of years ago where Watford won against Liverpool at Vicarage Road. He was unplayable that day.
3-0. Yeah, last season. Yeah, 2 great goals you scored. You showed a lot of pace. They fought to get forward, trickery. It was a problem that day. I know we won the league, and people say we took the foot off the gas, but still, you still got to turn up, and he did, and he was really exciting. So we've really got to watch him now, and he was linked to Liverpool at one stage. So yeah, he's an exciting player. So I'm sure whoever plays right back or left back has got a good game on the hands.
I think it is as well, because of the pace there. I think a lot of teams now have tried to exploit that with our high back line, and it's the quality of the balls. Anything straight, goalkeepers always can read them better. But most teams now are looking for diagonals to get people in behind us, playing that high line, and people making those runs. But you've got to be good technicians to actually do that. But I was just thinking that he was linked with us, Sarr, and maybe that's what, particularly back then,
spurred him on.
He put in a great performance.
The point you made defensively, though, about them, they hadn't kept a clean sheet at all until Roy Hodgson arrived. They've now kept 3, and that's, I guess, Roy's great strength, isn't it? To think, OK, let's give ourselves a base that if we don't concede, at least we leave games, maybe not this one, but some games with a point.
Well, don't forget, he done that at Crystal Palace as well. They were struggling, they were relegation fodder, and he got them organised, and he got them out of trouble. So I think that's what he's trying to do with them. As I say, because of the players that he has at his disposal, Josh King as well, when I've looked at those players, they don't do enough defensively, or if they do, they don't understand it. And I think that's what Roy's trying to get into these players. And if they are going to do it, particularly today, those wide players have got to stop our full-backs, and I think that'd be their best way of going about getting a result.
Tomo mentioned their home form, which is awful. 8 straight defeats at home. They've picked up 15 of their 22 away from home. But their remaining away fixtures include this one, City and Chelsea, whereas the home games, Burnley, Brentford, Everton, Leeds and Leicester, they're going to have to get it done at Vicarage Road, aren't they?
They're going to have to, because of them 3 away games look like you might as well write them off. But, football's a funny old game, anything can happen. I feel when they're playing at home, they feel the pressure a lot more than playing away. The mistakes they make, they feel it, they hear the fans, moan and when a mistake happens, and it gives you that added pressure. When you're playing away, you feel more free, you feel like you can express yourself. So I guess these players, hence why the record is better away, because they're not been in this situation before, and when the fans on your back, it's a tough ask.
It's a fair point, because when I looked at our game, we're beating them 5-0 down there. You have a look at when we're scoring our goals, there's only about sort of 6 defenders back, so they're not organised and not sort of there. And when you've got a host of attacking talent, when you play at home, the Watford fans, we've got an attack no matter who we're playing, so they're attacking, and most teams now good at counter-attacking. That's where they were in transition. Now we go, and they're getting picked off.
Well, it's the first game of what could be a very busy month. It is a busy month, actually, no doubt about it. 8 games, possibly 9 over the course of April. It's a schedule that Thiago is relishing.
The other day I was talking with some friends about it. I never had in the years that I've been involved in football, I never had a month so excited like this, and with so important and exciting matches every 3 days. So it will be amazing. It's exciting because you are competing against the best in the best competitions as well, but also because it reminds you that we are in finals. It looks like a World Cup or a European Cup, that every game is a final, and with that we are in one mission mood, and we're there. I think the Carabao Cup gave us much more confidence than we had before. we had high stakes to win the final. We won it, and the guys were incredibly happy and confident as well with the performance, with the whole tournament that we made. But also, it's important to arrive in this moment of the season and be ready for the finals that we have.
And we will hear much more from Thiago during Matchday Live this morning. We'll hear more from Tomo and from Jermaine as well. Thank you for the moment, though, gents. Let's just point you in the direction of our coverage throughout this morning and the afternoon as well. Matchday Live gets underway at 11:30. We'll hear from both managers, more from Thiago as well. And, of course, team news. Then it's live commentary with Steve Hunter and Alan Kennedy. And we'll be back with post-match reaction from 2:30 this afternoon. We'll see you a bit later on. Bye for now.